Well, hi there everybody. It's Tiffany with Ready Set Crop, getting ready to do a live process video with you. Thanks for joining me in the virtual craft room. As always, if you can't catch my lives, they're always available in the videos tab. You can watch the replays anytime, and happy to have you watch those. If you're ever looking for some inspiration, scroll back through the older videos. And always let me know if you've watched ones. Tag me if you've created a project with some of my ideas. But let's get started. Hi Michelle, thanks for joining me. Glad you could make it live tonight. I'm going to be doing a Halloween layout tonight. I texted my kids this week and I said, okay, I need to get pictures in the scrapbook. And you know, they post pictures on Snapchat and things like that, but they're not, I can screen grab them sometimes, but it's better if they just send me photos, and they were happy to do that, so that was nice. So I have a couple pictures of my son and his friends. They went as golfers, and then my daughter and her friends, they went one night as Toy Story characters, and then she went as Captain Underpants the other night because it was a whole Halloween weekend, you know. So I have these 4 photos, and I don't have, hi Gail, happy Thursday. I don't have my Halloween Haunted Happenings. I sold the last kit. I thought I had saved one for myself and I didn't, so I need to order more, but I still want to do this layout. So I'm gonna get creative and use paper that's not meant for Halloween, because you can do that. You don't have to use the pumpkins and the, you know, the paper that's orange or whatever. You can do other things. So I'm actually using the Sun Rays for Days collection, which is all kind of summertime themed. And if you've watched me before, you know that I kind of keep my collections in project folders like this, because it allows me to put the mats in these pockets here. I can keep all my paper in here, and then I've got longer, narrow pockets back here, so I've got my stickers and my borders back here. The other thing I just wanted to show you was I put an index card in each one, and I write Crush a Kit, and I write the name of the kit. And then as I do a layout, I write down what it is. This is just me because I am crazy about making lists. I love keeping track of things like this. And it's kind of cool to go, when I finally finish a whole kit, I can say, wow, I made 10 layouts from that packet, or I made 5 layouts, or whatever. It's just kind of an interesting thing for me. So I had done a weekend scrapping with friends, and I've done a poolside layout, but now I'm going to be adding a Halloween layout onto this. So kind of cool. I pulled some papers for this because in my son's photos, it's kind of blues and greens, and there is some blue in here because Eliza's wearing blue. She was Barbie from Toy Story. So I pulled this like navy paper that has stars on it, and that felt kind of Halloween-y to me. Michelle, these are called project folders, and you get a set of 4 for $20, and they come with sheets of these labels. You've got a little thing here. I absolutely love them because I like to kind of keep things organized in a collection when I have it. You could also do like, oh, all my red paper is going to go here, and then your red scraps and your red die cuts and things like that. You know, so however you like to scrapbook, it's a great way to organize your supplies in that way. So they're called project folders. So I picked out this paper from Sun Rays that was this navy with like stars on the back. The other side is lemons. Obviously that's not going to be used. And then this piece of paper had like some sandy color waves, and I thought these two together would be nice. And so then I ended up grabbing this kind of neutral light sand color paper, and then I grabbed a couple of scraps of a teal and aqua just to have some scraps on hand. So I'm going to get started. The idea I have tonight is to do, well, tearing, because I love doing some tearing. When I post this on Instagram, I will share the inspiration that I found on Instagram. I'm scrap lifting a layout, so I will share that when I post my finished layout. So I'm just quickly, roughly tearing 2 pieces of paper and throwing the other pieces. I'll put them back in my folder afterwards. So I'm going to adhere the navy towards the top. I'm not going to put adhesive right along here because I want to be able to tuck the sand underneath that sand colored pattern. I say top, but right now I'm working on the side just so I can see it better. I will move it once I get it attached. Oh, that one's cool too. I like that. The grid. I love grid paper. But it's green. I don't have green in this layout. I'm not bringing green into the layout. So I came down earlier to get myself settled in my basement here, and my floor was all wet, and I could not figure out why. Just realized my dehumidifier was still on. So my floor was all wet, and then I touched the table and my table was all wet. This thing was wet, underneath it was wet. I didn't know what had happened. Well, my jar of water for watercolor was on here, and the cats, of course, had a blast with that, and there was water everywhere. So I had a bit of cleaning to do before I could get scrapping tonight. Yeah, I feel like grid paper and small script paper can work for anything really. All right, I'm gonna grab my photos and I'm gonna trim those and mat those so then I can kind of start to put things together. But you see where I'm going here, it's just the double layers of torn paper. Yeah, luckily it was just watercolor paint, from a jar, but oh, they had a good time. There was just water everywhere. And I am really good about cleaning up my space when I'm done scrapping, which is fortunate because there wasn't anything here on the table to be ruined. I'm kind of, if I don't do that, then I'll never clean it up. So I am in the habit of make myself clean up before I am done a project, because otherwise the mess just builds and builds and builds. All right, I think I'm going to trim these down more because there's a lot of background here that I can cut out of there. I am glad that Wesley sent me his photos because I had no idea what he was in his Snapchat pictures. I could not figure out what he was dressed as. All right. Got those all trimmed. I think I'm gonna put them on, maybe I'll do white and then the teal. I think that's what I'll do. Grab a piece of white. My white was all the way in the back. All right, so I'm gonna mat all of these on white and then trim them and then double mat them on. Oh no, I was gonna put them on cards. Never mind, I'm not gonna use the teal. So I'm just gonna lay this out. This is a scrap of white paper from the cover of a collection. I always save those and use those for mats and backgrounds and things like that. Oops. Oh, now that one looks crooked. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, that would have been crazy. My cats are always, I hear them late at night. Today was the first time that in a long time that I've heard them running around like during the day. They're usually not wild during the day. At night, they're crazy. But I was home today, so, cats have to act up. You should see I'm down in the basement, and I shut the basement door when I come down here, because otherwise they would walk across the table right in the middle of the video. So when I leave to go back upstairs tonight, they will both be sitting there waiting because they're just so upset about missing out on the fun. Anybody have any plans for the weekend? I was thinking of going into Boston to see Eliza, but then I got notification that the weather was going to be bad, and I sprained my ankle last week, and I'm still wearing this stupid shoe that's not really a shoe, so I don't want to be walking around out in the elements with this open-toed thing. It's just not fun. All right, I'm going to grab my cards out of here because, I don't know. I was thinking of introducing some orange, and maybe I will. So I'm going to pull these two. I've got this one. That's the tan color. Let's see if there's any blue. There's some polka dot there, and there's a little bit there. I'm not going to use the flowers, but I could just use the blue. Just grabbing anything that might work to see if I want to mat any photos on there. Oh, a quilting weekend, Maria. That sounds great. Do you bring your own projects, or is it a project that they're gonna teach you while you're there? Because I know there's, kind of different kinds. Where'd I put my adhesive? Oh. Hey, Angel. Happy Thursday. So I'm going to double mat these on these navy cards. And rather than grabbing my trimmer again, I'm just going to kind of roughly trim these. I'm not worried about them being too perfect. And this one, it looks like it cut something a little crooked. So I'm just going to use my scissors and trim them. Oh, a mystery quilt. That sounds fun. I have a friend that does quilting that's like, sort of reminds me of Color by Number. It's like piecing all these beautiful things together. It ends up making like a really cool big batik elephant or dragonfly or something like that. And it really intrigues me. But, Maria, like, do you want to add another craft into your life? I know you know how that goes. Because I do painting and I do cross stitch. Sometimes you feel like, all right, hold your horses, lady. There's only so much you can do. Yeah, that paper piercing, it looks so cool. Then I ended up on YouTube watching videos of people doing it, and oh my gosh, there's just too many creative things out there in the world. There's not enough time for all of it. Yeah, I did a bad job. I don't know if I did a bad job of trimming the photos or the paper, or just if I was chatting too much, but these aren't trimmed very evenly. But I'll just trim them a little bit more just so it doesn't drive me crazy. But just keep in mind that there's never scrapbook police looking to see if you did it the right way. So don't worry too much about that. All right, I'm going to put these on the orange. Put them on this orange. Yeah. This has a script of summer words, but you're barely going to see any of it, so you won't know that it's summer. I just am grabbing it for the color, just to have that peeking through around the edge. And this is why I always get the cards. I do pocket scrapbooking, so I use the cards for that, but I really use them even more for matting photos and journaling. Because they always coordinate with the collection, but they're a little bit different, and they're a nice sturdy cardstock, so it's just a nice extra element to have. And I don't always double mat everything like this, but I just thought it would be fun on this layout. Okay, so I am going to do some mixed media on here. And I'm gonna do that before I put my photos down, but I just wanna get the idea of where my photos are gonna go. I guess I'm gonna put the girls up here since they're the orange. And then I'm gonna put the boys down here. So I'm gonna do some mixed media in this section here. So I'm gonna move these out of the way, and just knowing that I wanna be there. I've just got a covered piece of plastic from packaging. And I have 3 markers that I'm going to, these are just the Creative Memories journal pens. I'm using the thicker side, the thin side is nice for journaling, but I'm using the thicker side, and I've got the, I don't know if this is called cobalt, but it's a really pretty blue. And then I've got the lighter blue. I'll do that one over here. And the green. And now I'm gonna give it, yes, we gotta do a little mixed media, right, Michelle? Now I'm gonna give it just a quick spray, just a dollar store water bottle, water sprayer. And I'm gonna mix this stuff up a little bit. And now I'm gonna splooge it, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just mushing it on here. Keeping in mind my photos are going to be about here. So I need a little bit more over here. So this is just on a piece of plastic, packaging, marker, and water. And it's just giving me a little bit of messiness because I like to add that kind of messiness to my layouts. I'm gonna do a little bit more. And the reason I did the 3 colors is because then I'm getting that combined, it's kind of making a teal, it's giving me some different combinations when they mix up like that. So you just need a water-based marker that you can use. So like a Sharpie wouldn't work, but a water-based marker will work well, and then you just mush it on. Now, do this on scrap paper if you haven't done it before, because you don't want to mess up beautiful paper. If you have your heart set on something and then you put your paper down and it's ugly. But I don't know. I like doing stuff like that. I think it's kind of fun. So I'm going to put the 2 girls' photos up here. So Angel, the pocket scrapbooking is... I buy the multi-pocket pages, so like on a 12 by 12, it's got like 5 pockets, and then each pocket is a 4 by 6, and I put, that's my everyday, like my Instagram photos and just silly little stories about out walking the dog and that kind of thing. So I do one for every month, and they're really just fun, very simple layouts that don't take a lot of effort. I'm just sliding photos in, putting journal cards, doing a little bit of embellishing. It's really fun to do. And I put those in my regular album. So I start my album with January, so there's a January pocket, and then it goes into my February pocket, and then I have all of my January and February layouts. So I'm just putting a bit of craft foam on the back of my photos. Oh yeah, that I should do. I haven't done a pocket page in a while for you guys for a live, so I should, I'll do that maybe next week because I do have to catch up on my pockets. So watch for that one. Then you can see what I'm doing. It's really fun. I don't see a lot of Creative Memories people that do it. If you look up Project Life, that used to be kind of bigger than it is now. I have a lot of fun doing it because I don't have as many layouts as I used to, you know, with my kids being older, and it's just me. So it's me and the dog and the cats. So there's not a lot of 12 by 12 stories that I can tell about that. But I have a lot of little things, like I went out to dinner and I had a really good burger, and I'm going to put that in my album. All right, so here I have my four photos. I wanted to add some bats because it's a Halloween layout, so I wanted to get the bats in there. So I've got my border maker. I'm going to set my layout aside real quick while I punch out some batty borders. And this is where I'm going to use the teal and the turquoise, the aqua papers. So I'm just going to throw my teal paper in there and cut out some bats. This is the Bat and Stars border maker cartridge. It's so cute. And if I was really feeling ambitious, I've got all these little bats and stars that I could use, maybe later. You don't need to sit and watch me do that, certainly, but maybe I'll glue some on later. Yeah, that's great, Michelle. And see, I don't have grandchildren yet, and that's okay. But once I do, I'll be scrapbooking the heck out of them. But yeah, I mean, I have a lot of, I hike a lot, so I have a lot of hiking layouts and things like that. All right, so I have 2 sets of bats. I'm going to trim those. Trim these borders. I'm going to leave a little bit extra on the edge of each one so that I can tuck them under my photos. Yeah, I'm not that much younger than you, Michelle, I don't think, but you know, my son's graduating from college this year, in December, and he just applied to 7 different grad school programs. He has been accepted into 2 so far. So there's definitely like next phases of life are coming our way. All right, so I am going to tuck these batty things under here. Trim that one a little bit more. Oops. Keep losing my adhesive. Oops. I like how this teal and turquoise kind of brings in another color. All right, these haven't stuck very well. I think because they're on the mixed media, it hasn't quite dried. Oops, that needs to go that way. That needs to go that way. Tuck some bats in over on this side. That's cute. I like that little touch of bats. All right, trim that one there. Oh, okay, yeah, so your kids are ahead of mine. So yeah, that's exciting. You've got grandchildren pictures. I'm not there yet. And, you know, basically I just scrapbook what I feel like scrapbooking. And so now it's kind of like a personal diary of the things that I'm doing, you know? All right, I've got this polka dot paper, and I'm going to put some of that up here because I do feel like, oh no, I know what I was going to do. Oh, I've made quite a pile of stuff over here. Let's see if I have, yes, there it is. In the scrap lift that I saw on Instagram that I will share with you, they had a bunch of circles going through their layout. So the other night, well, last Thursday night, I did a layout with the bat with the spider web chain, the spider web punch, and I ended up with a bunch of these spider webs. So I'm actually gonna tuck a couple of these like this, sort of like it's going down this way. That's cool, I like that. Because these were just sitting here after I had finished that layout. I love my border punches, Michelle. I love them. But you know, I had the Border Maker system for a couple of years before it even came out of the box. And a couple of times I would look at it kind of sadly and go, ooh, why did I buy that? And then I went to one of Karen's retreats and she had a Border Maker relay race. And so you really had to learn how to use your Border Maker card system. And once I really understood it, I was like, why the heck am I not using this? Because it's so cool and so easy to use to, you know, to add a little bit of interest. And, you know, you can see I don't kind of do the typical Creative Memories style of scrapping. I'm definitely more on my own in that way, but I still get a lot of use out of it because I really like adding those elements. Well, that's fun. I like that. I'm going to wait for these to dry and then I'm going to trim them off the edges. Oops. All right, so now I am just going to, well, actually I can trim these off. Yeah. I'm going to add my title. Okay, I grabbed stickers somewhere. Here they are. So I'm going to put my title down here. Let me try this. I've made such a mess tonight. I'm going to try this on here, see how that color looks. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, my title is going to be Wicked Cute. So I'm going to write Wicked in the blue, and then I'm going to put cute with the letter stickers. Now I'm going to kind of do faux calligraphy, so I'm just going to thicken up any of my down strokes. I like to add my own handwritten titles, handwritten journaling whenever I can, just to make it a little bit more personal. Certainly if this is not your thing, if that intimidates you or makes you, or if you feel like your handwriting's awful, you know, you could do this with the computer. So I just have a gray pen and I'm going to outline my letters. And this just kind of gives like a faux shadow effect. And basically I'm just gonna write over everything, just a little bit off center. And I don't know if that's even showing up for you, but. And now I'm gonna spell out cute. My computer just gave me a notification that my battery is running low, so if that happens, I won't be able to see your comments. So I apologize if that happens. So far, so good, but I feel like I'm missing a sheet. Well, let's see what I can spell out. C. U. I went onto Pinterest today looking for Halloween titles, and they were all too cutesy. And then all of a sudden, I saw a layout that I liked, and I was like, oh, that's a wicked cute layout. because I say wicked all the time. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, wait, wicked cute. That'll be perfect. Because it's Halloweeny and it's New Englandy. This gray marker is a Stampin' Up! Stampin' Blend marker. So it has a brush side and then a thinner side. It's not thin enough to do journaling, but I like these as well. I use them quite a bit for outlining like that. Wicked cute. And now I'm going to grab just a thin black pen and I'm going to draw a little line under these because I like that. And then, oh, I'm going to get my date stamp. And I'm going to do October 31st, 2022. It's pretty good. I'm scrapbooking what happened a week ago. 2021, 2022. Okay. And I want it to be in the blue again, just like that, just like the Wicked. So I'm just going to draw right on my stamp here. It's just the date. Oops, I did it upside down. Oh my gosh. This is what happens when you talk at the same time as scrapping. Yep, turn it around. Well, I'll have to do that again, but there is my wicked cute Halloween layout. And I'll probably add some journaling over here, but I think that's it. Really fun way to add some borders without being like border, you know, it's just kind of a little element tucked in, kind of a scrappy, you know, it's not too formal. And then these were just leftovers, but they're using the Spiderweb cartridge. And yeah, you definitely get the Halloween vibe from this layout. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your Thursday night, and I will see you again soon. Bye, everybody.